Today, we're going to explore Thug Motivation 101 as a philosophy because Jeezy has such a unique way of harmonizing some very powerful principles. So Jeezy's philosophy starts off and is built around supreme confidence. That is complemented with a relentless vigor, certain will to power as Nietzsche described it. But this is more than just somebody who, is got a little arrogant brashness and, grinds hard. Jeezy is impeccable with his word. You never hear Jeezy self-deprecate. When you hear Jeezy talk about Jeezy, you hear somebody who describes self in the spirit of enthusiasm and pride and self-care and somebody who's living in an actualization of the greatest version of themselves. There's a lot of traces to the Miguel Ruiz 4 agreements. Jeezy is a classic example of somebody who formulated a vision of themselves and held it and aligned with it so strong that they actually imposed that into physical reality, and the world pretty much had to bend and mold to them. Jeezy puts no separation between who he is and the things that he desires. That's why even on his first album, Jeezy is like a rookie, but that has the mentality of a 9 or 10 year veteran. He's not trying to represent for the trap. He's not being represented. No, he is the physical embodiment of the trap in the flesh. He has deemed self as the archetype of the trap. And in doing this, he has aligned himself within the very nature of what it is that he professes to be. And this is actually brilliant. Jeezy doesn't complain. Jeezy spends little to any time really concerned about anybody not named Jeezy. He looked down, he saw cockroaches, he hit the lights, he looked back down, it was marble floors. He didn't go anywhere. It was a perspective change. So to implement this philosophy, the perspective has to change. The word is now impeccable. No self-deprecating, no doubt, no fear spoken. We use our word to encourage self, to celebrate, to self-edification. That's the elevation that's gonna come with that. There is no separation. Now, we gotta put the vision of self on steroids. We gotta wimby it, make it bigger. And if it's hard for you to actually see that, maybe try an alter ego. Sometimes I call myself 10X, for situations like that. And we got to make it believable by walking in and, by looking the part, dressing the part, educating ourselves. But most of all, you got